How we doing, ladies and gentlemen, over on the YouTube side of things? This is going to be some early thoughts on Vigour. This isn't going to be a build guide, but I will sort of go through and showcase everything I have played through at the moment. I'm streaming Fellowship for the past, like, 13 and a half hours. Going on 14. Feel free to add me at any point if you want me to heal your keys or tank your keys. That's the Fellowship code. It'll probably be somewhere, probably in the description or comments, whatever have you. Because I'm trying to fill up my friends list as much as humanly possible. So, how is Vigour in lower keys compared to playing Sylvie, and what's my experience with him so far? He's really good if you're able to run a specific Helena comp, because there's a way you can stack your absorbs to get crazy results. He gets a lot better after doing a couple of dungeons. Like, stock Vigour feels like dog shit. Absolute dog shit, which hopefully will get, like, maybe adjusted or something, or maybe they're just gonna expect him to scale with gear, because he's apparently one of the best healers. Oh, one of the best, one of two. Is the best healer in late game, because apparently he can just perma absorb everybody. But reason being is, like, the buttons that feel so fucking bad early on, from what I've heard from top tier players, is that, like, all the buttons that suck at low tiers are really good at high tiers. So, in low tier, it really feels like this button sucks balls. It uses 2 Radiant Runes, and you get 1 heal and 1 damage packet on all enemies. However, when you get this augmented with all the talents and gear and whatnot, this puts basically a luminous barrier on every single person in the team. So you line it up in front of everybody, and now all of a sudden you've put out 3 barriers for the price of 2 barriers. You're actually gaining a barrier at that point, right? But you're not able to do that until you get down to... which row is it? Radiant Soul? And which one is it? Is it next tier? Ah, there you go. Tier 3. When your Dawnbreaker Orb heals a player, 100% of that healing is also applied as an absorb shield on that player for 12 seconds. So I do have access to it right now, but problem is, these 2 nodes are way too good. These 2 nodes have made me actually want to play Vigour, because when I first started out with him, when he has no haste, he runs out of mana so goddamn fast. Like, him compared to Sylvie's early game, you can put, what is it? You can put your Flutterflies on everyone, and if your tank is good, you can walk in a straight line, and you'll have 0 problems from the start of the key to the end of the key. Whereas Vigour, you're gonna be out of mana halfway through. Especially if they're pulling big and you don't have good haste or like a mana trinket or anything along those lines. I dropped the mana trinket on Sylvie because God hates me. Unfortunately, I have had to stop for Vigour healers for mana perpetually. I have not had to stop for a Sylvie 1 time. That is from both tanking and playing both of them. I've had to stop for mana as Vigour, and I have not had to stop for mana as Sylvie. I literally killed bosses on 2% mana, because you can just regen mana while passively healing. And that's the issue, is my guy has 0 passive healing in early games. He is all active healing. And runes. And the runes being where most of his healing comes from, aside from just spam casting Greater Heal, makes it feel kinda shit. Because if you're more of a Holy Priest player than a Discipline Priest player, you're probably not going to be inclined to sit here and Dawn Flare on cooldown, right? You want to heal as opposed to play Discipline Priest, right? However, in very early stuff, it feels like you almost want to get to, like, 2 or 3 mobs after they've cleared the entire pack down, and then rather than heal the team, you want to sit there and gen, like, 5 runes on 1 guy, just so that you can feel okay with pre-shielding your tank. Because, like, the way I'm trying to play is, like, put up a pre-shield before my tank goes and does a big pull. And then you want to put the Rune of Renewal on them, because then you want to heal over top of the Rune of Renewal here. This will echo the heal for an initial value, or an extra initial value, and then it'll give you one of the runes back, right? So your goal is to put this on as many people as possible, and then chain heal them with Greater Heal. And I think... because the fucking bonus heal doesn't trigger on, like, other stuff, does it? Oh no, it does on that, so... You can make a lot of runes eventually, but like until you get runic proliferation, words are difficult. He feels like absolute ass. Like honestly, I would like if I could just replace Dawnflare with Renew. That Renew generates 20% of a Radiant Rune, 5% of a Radiant Rune. Cut it to fucking 4%. I don't give a shit. Give me a heal over time effect that I can place manually. That'll generate like 20% of a rune, 10% of a rune. And I would be so much happier. So much happier. It stops me from sitting here and dawn flaring until 6 runes on a 2-mob pack just so I can play the fucking game. And then it also gives you some semblance of heal over time. And yes, I know it's probably a little ironic asking for a heal over time when this is the other character. I understand that. But the mana problems are so fucking bad. If you're on 0 mana, you just die. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't generate runes because it takes you 5 Dawn Flares to be able to get a rune. I mean, it costs you 1 mana to use this, right? But, like, the thing that I'm worried about is, like, why? You know, like, okay, the top end potential is great. That's fantastic. Do you want to suffer that hard, or do you want to have a good experience the whole way up? And a lot of people are going to say good experience the whole way up. They're not going to suffer for the potential top end payoff of being able to absorb shield everyone. Like I'm probably going to. But he is fun. As a Holy Priest enjoyer, as a Disciplined Priest enjoyer, as a Holy Paladin enjoyer, he is a fun cross between it. I just wish they'd take all the Disciplined Priest shit out, because I personally fucking hate Disciplined Priest, at least the new version of it. Wrath of the Lich King and previous Disciplined Priest, S tier. Everything past Legion, yikes. Whoever designed that shit, not a big fan. So yeah, he needs a mana trinket that I don't have access to. You need like a mana trinket and master spell trinket, and then I think he'll feel like actually good to play. 30% mana would allow me to get so many more heals and like solve so much bad shit. Because then you can like use your 30% mana and then like ulti early-ish to save mana with 600% mana recovery. Like it's at a point where I'm not even popping my ult to like save the team. I'm popping my ult to generate mana and then barrier everybody. So that they can absorb the damage and like pause it for a second, and then I can get like 20% of my bar back just so I can start like recasting. But what makes him really fun, what actually kind of swings this around, is these 2 talents right here. Master of Triage and Alacritus Healing. I talked shit for the entire time, now we swing it back around. This is what makes him feel actually enjoyable once you get these 2 talents. Which is why, like I said, the way he's set up to start feels like dog shit. Absolute dog shit. You play him a little bit, great time. Also with his Spirit here, Spirit provides a chance to refund any mana spent when using abilities that cost mana. Each time the Spirit refund triggers, Vigour is granted 1 Radiant Rune. So, he needs a lot of Spirit to be able to get mana refunds, and then to also get runes all the time. Now, this is even better, because in this case, if you get a rune refund, it will then give you a Master of Triage proc. Every time you generate a Radiant Rune, a free greater heal of 30% efficiency is cast on a nearby ally, preferring the player with the lowest health. This doesn't trigger a Rune of Renewal healing. Now, why this is insanely good is runic proliferation. Say that 3 times fast. So, the reason this is so good is because this gives you 3 runes instantly, which triggers 3 instant greater heals at 30% efficiency on lower health targets. Absolutely beautiful. You pop this button, you then have the ability to use your runes as well for extra healing. So you can Radiant Rune this guy, you can Rune this guy, you can shield him because, you know, he needs help, I guess. You can shield him, what have you. And this just generates the runes. Like, the runes don't disappear either. So any rune abilities you cast are empowered, and their effectiveness is increased by 20%. So the Absorb Shield gets bigger, and the Rune for Dual Healing also gets bigger. And then Alacritus Healing. Your greater heal has 0.5% reduced cast time and 20% increased critical strike chance. Now, if that critical strike chance has an effect on the Master of Triage, even better. I'm not going to sit here like a nerd and sim it to find out if it's true or not. But what I can tell you is this cast time reduction makes this feel so much more playable. Like, I don't want to ever take this 1 talent node off, because playing this without this haste node it sucks. It just blows cheeks. So, yeah. I would suggest if you're gonna play Vigour, dig in for the long haul, but he does get better. I think I would go Haste Spirit, but Expertise buffs the shield. Like, I want the Haste for the greater heal, just to be able to, like, have this feel okay to press, but at the same time, Expertise Spirit might be the play, because then you get to stack your Luminous Barrier as much as possible. If you go for, like, the Dawnbreaker Orb build as well, you can shield everybody with this. So, he has the potential, but do you want to suffer through it to be able to actually see it pay off? That is the question. And that's going to be entirely up to you, I suppose. Like I said, do you want to have an easier experience with Sylvie, where you can just autopilot walk? Or do you want to play a Holy Paladin / Holy Priest that will require a lot more mental effort, but at the same time will give you a harder experience? I don't know, maybe that's more fulfilling to some people to be able to feel like they achieved something by making the shittier character work. He's also, fun fact, the least played character in the game from the stats that I have access to from the last time the game was playable. But yeah, that is my early thoughts on Vigour. I don't think I really missed anything particularly. Like I said, I'm going to get farther and farther in. I want to see how it plays with a 120 weapon. If I can get like Nature's Fury or something and be able to use that to top my team instantly, that's great. But that's also the sort of thing where it's like, that's getting a drop from +7. That kind of is a drastically different experience to stock Vigour. And stock Vigour feels like shit compared to Sylvie until you get a couple of talents. TLDR, 0 gear Sylvie, much, much better. High gear Vigour, apparently god tier monster.